Maria's doing the pointer dog exercise. It's a great exercise for what it's designed to do. She's lifting up one arm, that uses her anterior deltoid of that arm, and the opposite leg, and that uses the gluteus maximus muscle, the hamstring muscles of that leg. But it's often advertised as a good exercise for the lower back. And although the lower back acts as a stabilizer, it's not really moving. It's not really doing what it should do, because we know from many years of research at the University of Florida Medical School that to strengthen the low back properly and effectively, and to prevent low back pain and to remediate low back pain, you need to move that low back muscle to its full range of movement, from a fully flexed position to a fully extended position, with an appropriate matching resistance. And that's what we're going to do. So although this is a great exercise, it's not one that I recommend to strengthen the lower back. Marie, thank you so much. I'm going to demonstrate a couple of exercises that are also recommended. One is with a barbell. It's called the Good Morning exercise. But again, it really puts a lot of stress on the low back structures without moving the low back. You can see that I'm moving, but the movement comes through the hip joint. It's accomplished by the gluteus maximus muscles and the hamstring muscles. My lower back is holding a position, but it's not moving to its full range. The same is true with a stiff-legged deadlift. That's a great exercise for the gluteus maximus and the hamstrings, and it certainly works the back, but it doesn't work the back the way the back should be worked in most people. And this is what the low back does. It takes you from a trunk flexed position to a trunk extended position. And it does it against a perfectly matched resistance, as you can see that Maria's doing here. It does it through the full movement range. She's going from convex to concave, from the rounded trunk position to the extended trunk position. She's doing it with her feet support, with her right angular knees, with support behind her hips and under her hips and behind her hips. She's doing it with a resistance that is against the thickest part of her back, that does not interfere with this movement, and it does not involve any hip extension. Notice that her hips are not moving. All the movement is above the waist. It's truly a trunk extension exercise that emphasizes the paravertebral muscle, the erector spinal muscles, the low back muscle. Notice also that although she's in line with this axis of rotation, it's about at her navel level, it is not an axis. The axis is in the lumbar spine. It moves as you go through the movement. It's not just one vertebrae, it's several vertebrae moving a little bit, and that's exactly what this 4-bar linkage, this patented system does. It moves the machine's axis of rotation the same way that her lumbar spine is changing its axis of rotation. That's why this pad does not change position on her back. It doesn't roll up and down like a roller pad. It's right there, it's fixed. It extends as her lower back extends as she goes through this movement. This is the 4-bar linkage system that enables you to go through that full movement range with the machine accommodating the way the spine actually moves. Not one single axis of rotation, but several joints that are moving together to produce this trunk extension movement. This is the 4-bar linkage that makes it possible. Of course, the cam adjusts the resistance. She goes into her extended position. She's much weaker than in the flexed position. That cam accommodates that perfectly, and you'll see all the movement is above her hip bone. There's no hip extension. She's isolating and intensifying the work of that lumbar spine musculature. It is the perfect exercise for developing the lower back muscles, and it's one that you can do with ever-increasing progressive resistance as that low back becomes stronger, as it certainly will on this Nautilus ONE Low Back machine.